fights, and I want that title.
That's right.
Let's hit that bell, player. Let's get this rumble rolling.
Let's go.
Is you nervous, Cuddy? Yeah, I see you sweating.
I see you.
Ain't no time to turn back now. It's that bell, player. It's time to go now, Trek. What you saying? Ain't no time for backing out now. I'm coming at you orthodox stance style. Finna switch it up when I'm ready with you, player. Hit you with that official southpaw pride. Come toss me that combo now. Before I throw this left and make you wobble, child.
Do it.
Oh, you gon' be hard-headed now? Screw it, I'm coming at you Iron Mike style. Dropping you to the canvas right now. That's right, player. Nation, welcome to Nation Night Fights, your boxing report weekly with your boy Hijacker Mike. What's happening, Nation? Welcome to the second edition of Nation Night Fights, 3/25/21 edition. This is your weekly boxing report, recaps, fights, news, all that stuff for you in the world of boxing. I am your West Coast boy, Hijacker Mike. So let's get right into it. Let's start recapping the week of action and some upcoming news for boxing. Let's check it out. From Thursday, 3/18/21, Ring City, USA, live from Salinas, Puerto Rico, we had Alberto Machado, 22-2 and 18 KOs versus Angel Fiero, 17 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 13 KOs. This was a lightweight 10 rounds bout. Fiero was put down in each of the first 2 rounds. Fiero got KO'd with a solid right hook to the body and a left hook to the head from Machado in the 6th round at the 2:18 mark. Machado was ahead on all 3 judges' scorecards in this fight before he was KO'd. And in women's competition, Marcela Cornell, 13-4 with 5 KOs, got the win by unanimous decision versus Alma Ibarra, 7 wins, 1 loss, 4 KOs, in women's middleweight 8-round bout. This was a back-and-forth, hard-hitting fight between the two, which could have been the best fight of the night. It was a unanimous decision for Cornell in 8 rounds. It was 77-75, 79-73, 79-73 were the judges' scorecards on that fight. Next, in the junior bantamweight, we have Angel Acosta, 21 wins, 2 losses, 21 KO versus Gilbert Mendoza, 17 wins, 9 losses, 3 draws, and 8 KOs in an 8-round bout with a unanimous decision going to Angel Acosta, 79-72 across the board for all 3 judges on this unanimous decision. In another bout, a lightweight, 6-round fight, Edwin Valentin, 9-0, 8 KOs versus Hector Marengo, 7 wins, 14 losses, 4 draws, and 4 KOs. Valentin got the TKO in the 5th round over Hector Marengo for the win in this fight. Now we'll go to some welterweight action, 8 rounds. Jose Roman, 10 wins, 0 losses, 5 KOs versus Raquel Junco, 10 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 6 KOs. Jose got the 8-round unanimous decision over Junco. Judges scored it 80-71, 80-72, and 80-72 in that fight. Next, we go to some bantamweight action, a 10-rounder, which had Jose Martinez get a decision in 10 rounds versus Israel Gonzalez. Martinez was 21-1-2 with 14 KOs, as Israel is 26-4 and 11 KOs in his career. And as we go to a light heavyweight challenge, a rematch with Joseph Ward, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 KOs versus Marco Delgado, 7 wins, 1 loss, 5 KOs in a 6-round bout where Joe Ward got the unanimous decision in 6 rounds versus Marco Delgado with a score of 60-54 across the board. Now we move on to Saturday night, 3/20/21 from Wembley Arena. We have Lawrence Okolie destroys Christoph Glovatzky to win the vacant WBO title for his 16th fight. Okolie began with a busy, stiff jab and a fast footwork, preventing Glovatzky from settling himself into the fight. In the 4th round, Okolie hit Glovatzky in the face, cutting his right eye, which I am sure added more weight to this bout for Glovatzky. Okolie owned this fight from the get-go. He dropped Glovatzky in the 6th round when Okolie, on the back foot, hit a jarring jab with a following powerful right hand as Christoph leaned forward right into the punch. Glovatzky fell hard, got up, beat the count, but was very shaky and was rightly ruled out by the ref. Congratulations to Lawrence Okolie for winning the vacant WBO title in the cruiserweight division in only his 16th fight. On this undercard for that fight, the undercard saw wins from Chris Billam-Smith, now 12-1, who won his 10-round decision in a tough fight, also dropping Pascal Ducar twice in his bout. As Ducar was swelling under his right eye, he still brought to the fight. Anthony Fowler with a statement stoppage of world-rated Jorge Forti. Fowler with a third-round KO had dropped Forti with a sudden left for the first knockdown, as it was a struggle for Forti to make it back to his feet in the bout, then resumed. He was met with a right hand and he was out for the 10 count. Joe Cordina got a 10-round decision over Farouk Korbanov. Ramala Ali 2-0 gets the 6th-round decision over Beck Conley. Ellie Scotney 2-0 looked good hitting combos and picking her shots against Melis Ganglov in a 6th-round decision. Unified light heavyweight champ Artur Beterbiev stops Adam Dines in round 10 with a KO. This comes after a 519-day missing in action from the ring due to a rib injury and being ill from COVID for Artur. Artur had control pretty much of this whole fight versus Dines, landing plenty of combinations with some stiff jabs to the body and head. According to CompuBox, Beterbiev landed 159 of 560 punches, a 28%, while Dines connected with only 77 of his 402 punches, a 19% of his shot. In a bantamweight division bout, Lee McGregor, 10 wins, no losses, 8 KOs, made a statement by stopping defending European title holder Karim Guerfiri 29-5, 9 KOs in the first round. McGregor dropped Guerfiri in the opening minute with a debilitating body shot. He got up and held off an onslaught of shots, but it was a well-placed left hook to the body that dropped Guerfiri for the final time, stopping the bout at 2:43 in the first round. Vergil Ortiz Jr., 17-0 with 17 KOs, the hype train going strong again tonight, passing a big key tough test against former title holder Maurice Hooker, 27 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws with 18 coming by way of KO, winning a 7th-round stoppage in this bout. Both fighters had some great exchanges during some rounds as Ortiz took some of the heat Hooker dealt off to him. As Hooker won some rounds along the way, but Hooker was dropped with a left uppercut and a straight right in the 6th late in that round. Came out swinging in the 7th, but was dropped again within the first minute of that round. But later in the 7th, the fight was stopped when Hooker suffered a right hand injury and could not continue in the bout. During a post-fight interview, Ortiz looked directly at WBO welterweight champion Terrence Crawford and said he was more than willing to face the WBO welterweight champ. "I don't care if I'm ready or not. I want the fight," Ortiz noted. Also in women's action, Seniesa Estrada, 20 wins, no losses, 8 KOs, got the unanimous decision in a 10-round bout versus Annabelle Ortiz, 31, 4 losses, 4 by the way of KO. In another welterweight bout, Marcelino Lopez, 37 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 22 wins by KO, knocked out in the 5th round. Jairo Lopez, 27 wins, 12 losses, 18 by the way of KO. Marcelino was just too much power, dropping Jairo in the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th round to end it. Also got the call for a knockdown in the 4th, but it was actually a shove. In other men's action, Tristan Kalkreuth, 8 wins, no losses, 6 by way of KO, got the 1st round KO versus Dustin Long, 4 wins, 2 losses, 2 draw, 4 by the way of KO. Kalkreuth just took him out in 78 seconds in the 1st round with speed, aggression, and power to the body. From last Friday night, 319, bantamweight prospect Saul Sanchez, 16 wins, 1 loss, 9 KOs, dropped Frank Gonzalez, 8 wins, 2 losses, 4 KOs, 3 times en route to a knockout victory in the opening round. Under a minute into the bout, Sanchez dropped Gonzalez, landing an overhand right upstairs. Gonzalez beat the count, but was dropped again from a left-right combination to the head. Gonzalez beat the count again, but looked disoriented. Moments later, a right uppercut upstairs dropped Gonzalez face first, prompting an immediately stoppage to the fight at 1 minute and 47 seconds. In boxing news this week, Iron Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield look to be at a standstill as Holyfield's camp says Tyson is refusing the $25 million guaranteed from Team Holyfield to participate in the Tyson-Holyfield 3 bout. It was said Tyson's demands became untenable and not what Tyson had originally agreed into the direct conversation with Holyfield earlier this year. So we shall see if a fight number 3 will take place. Deontay Wilder could receive up to $10 million to step aside for the mega 2-fight deal between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Wilder could have turned into a major roadblock for the fight as he wanted to exercise a clause from the previous contract to book a trilogy with Fury. But Fury's camp said his power to negotiate a trilogy fight was over back in October of 2020. ESPN's Max Keller reports, don't look too much into the contract because Wilder has to be getting paid to step aside. It's a $5 to $10 million deal, so Wilder is getting money just for waiting. Wish I can get that kind of cash. In more news, legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. has signed a contract to fight in an exhibition bout versus Hector Camacho Jr. This fight will take place Saturday, June 19th in Guadalajara, Mexico. Chavez Sr. will be fighting the son of his biggest rival, Hector Camacho Sr. Chavez said him and Camacho Sr. have become great friends before he passed in 2012. I love him to heaven, he says. He knows it, and now he must be angry about the beating I'm going to give his son. This fight will take place days before the anniversary of Camacho Sr.'s death, so it'll be an emotional fight for Camacho Jr. Lightweight division's Gervonta Davis has been indicted for a Baltimore hit-and-run accident. The Baltimore native has been indicted on 14 counts of a hit and run in downtown Baltimore back in November of 2020. Davis faces a potential of 7 years and 55 days in prison. Davis ran a red light, struck a Toyota vehicle before heading into a convenience store parking lot. A video captured by a convenience store shows a Lamborghini colliding with the store's fence, and the driver was witnessed and reported to be Davis. After the crash, a black Camaro pulled up and people began transferring items from the Lamborghini into the Camaro and then took off. The 4 occupants in the Toyota Solara that were injured were taken to a local hospital to evaluate it for their injuries. This isn't Davis's first run-in with the law, as in the past he had gotten in trouble assaulting his girlfriend in a fight between the two. So we'll see what happens with this situation and keep a close eye on it as time comes along. Oh, there's my time. It's time to get wrapped up and send it back to the boys. You can reach me, Hijacker Mike, out on Twitter at Mr. Mac, MISTAMACC. You can also follow me here on YouTube at Hijacker Mike, which you at this current time will have to find because I need 100 followers to get my own URL. But hey, like I said last week, we got to start somewhere. So thank you for joining me on this week's edition of Nation Night Fights, and I will see you next week, y'all. Back to our Nation Sports Show with the boys. Peace.